just for this first one. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Dang, this feels good. After a gajillion, billion, million years, your girl is back, making videos and generally being up to no good. You know me. Only this time around, I am retiring my old handle, the Countess Anna. I know, I am feeling a little sentimental as well. We had some good memories, we had a good run. But this time I am rebranding as, hey, to Anna. It is a new chapter for me, and you know me. I love a good symbolism. But fret not, most of my content is going to remain the same. Rants, duh. Along with some reviews. I'm not gonna be an influencer, I will de-influence you. Some glimpses of my personal life, that's always fun. And occult/witchy content. But that last one I am going to put up on a separate channel because not everybody is into that, and we don't want to scare them Christians down in the comments section now, do we? I'm kidding. Let's all learn to take a joke. Today I'm gonna be revealing the 5 reasons why I kind of just stopped making YouTube videos and why it took me this long to come back. It's been so long. I do apologize. But before I spill, please make sure to hit the like button, s'il vous plaît, mga ma'am sir. And please subscribe if you haven't already. Unless, you know, it does please you to keep typing my username in the search box every time you want to hear from me again. And again, and again. Then okay, fine, I can't kink shame you if you're really into that. Ring my bell too. It really helps me out and lets me know that you guys are down to clown. All right, okay, let's do this. The first and probably main reason why my YouTube hiatus began is I moved to the US. In 2015, I got my heart broken. So I went to the US and spent 6 months just going around the country. I rode the Greyhound buses and I crashed on friends' couches, and it was a grand time. For the unaware, it's sort of a big deal when you max out the allowed time to stay in the US under a tourist visa. Why? Because the next time you do come back to America, they are 100% going to ask questions to assess for immigrant intent. Especially if you're coming back a little too soon for their comfort. And heaven forbid you're also a Filipina, they're just going to assume that you are betrothed, or if you really are a tourist that has no intent to job or manhunt, and completely fall off the grid so you can enter your TNT era. Which in any case, you're always ready with your Manila folder or Manila envelope full of papers. We got proof that you took your first breath on Philippine soil. Proof that your parents took their first breath on Philippine soil, literally breathing in jeepney smoke and tuberculosis. A picture of your dog in your lavish estate that you clearly want to come back home to, grow old in, and die in. Proof that you actually hate America. It's just that you really want to go to Target. You know, dumb like that.
Welcome to America. What is the purpose of your visit to the United States?
To find love I'm going to spend time with my grandmother in California.
And how long do you intend to stay within the United States?
Long enough to get married to a white boy. All just 1 month.
How much money do you have with you?
Enough to buy a pretty dress and risk offering to split the bill at dinner. I have $1,500 and I have more in my bank account in the Philippines. That's where I am rich.
And do you have a return ticket or onward travel arrangements?
Me on a return flight I do not plan to take. Yes, of course. It's right there, the ticket.
And have you ever been arrested or convicted of any crime either in the United States or abroad?
Does having an insatiable desire to migrate to the US count? No.
Do you have any food, plants, seeds, or any other animal products with you?
Just the seed of my American dream. None.
Are you carrying any explosives, firearms, or drugs with you?
Has anyone ever said yes to this? Oh, just my psych meds. Ooh. Here's my doctor's prescription.
Have you ever been denied entry or deported from the United States or any other foreign country?
No. Ha! Never. Trick question. You already know this.
Welcome to America, bitch.
If there is anything worse than being an anxious traveler, it's being an anxious Filipino traveler. And again, for the unaware, for the lucky ones on the outside looking in, while you're buying your overpriced snacks and browsing for another airport book you know you're not gonna finish, we are back in immigrations and customs having an anxiety attack. Oh, what happens in customs, you ask? They seize the food that was painstakingly packed for a potentially depressed and burnt out OFW. Putang ina, iniwan na nga lahat ng medyas at lahat ng panty para lang magkasya lahat ng baon, sabay confiscated. The anxiety is so much worse, especially if you've been blessed with above average attractiveness. God, not every pretty Pinay is out here catching flights, feelings, pink and a green card. Even though that's exactly what I did. But I did it for love. I left all my vlogging gear in the Philippines. I just couldn't go on without my shiny velvet headboard. I mean, just look at this. Just look at this backdrop.
Another vlog,
Ugh.
and mind you, they're not just any ticket.
Iconic. And wouldn't you agree? Vlogging at the foot of your bed is so adorably early 2000s. But to be fair, I was able to bring my camera, but then my brick of a MacBook Pro just started to give up on me and I couldn't edit anything. And because I'm not a fucking princess or a Kardashian, I couldn't just walk into Best Buy and buy myself another camera or another laptop. But I'm not gonna lie, when I was in the States, those first couple years, I had a lot of time to vlog. But there was a part of me that kind of felt rudderless and creatively burnt out. We'll discuss that later. Life got real, dude. Starting a new life in America without a Filipino-American by your side is like replaying the same RPG, but you got cocky and losing kind of turns you on, so you try it in Nightmare. No, I kind of wish Nightmare was like an actual color. Like, I love this dress. Do you have it in Nightmare? And it's not until you wander away from the safety of town and you encounter a random, significantly stronger creature that you realize in horror that your armor looks like a nightgown. You're wearing a helmet that looks like a cross between a leather bomber hat and Ebenezer Scrooge's nightcap. You're swinging a dagger that has some derogatory adjective attached to it, like cracked, crude, or dull. And you only have 3 health potions the size of a vial. We're fine. We're fine. I just need to get better stuff. Oh, we need money. Bam! 1 hit. Immediate death. Didn't stand a chance. But we try again and again and again until we actually learn something from it. And we take that lesson and trade it in for victories of all shapes and sizes. Some of my difficult and recurring battles include ordering Uber Eats regardless of my financial status and mood. Don't laugh at me, this is a real problem. I'm happy and my check for the week is good, I get Uber Eats. I'm sad because my check sucked, I get Uber Eats. I'm fresh and happy from some time off, but I'm broke, I get Uber Eats. I'm sad and I'm tired because I've been working too much for that money, I get Uber Eats. There is just something so luxurious about coming out in your ugly house clothes, hair a damn mess, to get your delivery. Hey, what did you get? Just some sushi. Trying to save my money and kind of having a sad day. Something so comforting about touching tips with your courier. Is this intimacy? Laundry. Apart from zip ties and your pet sleeping on you, nothing can hold a grown-ass person hostage more than laundry does. First, it silently erodes. Your sanity by quickly piling on top of each other until your hamper looks like a goddamn ice cream cone. And any more socks and underwear that you chuck on top of it, it kind of just rolls off like Jack and Jill. You either snap from seeing that every day, or you snap because you had to go commando to work for the past 3 days. Oh my god, and then the super fun part comes. Folding! Do not even get me started. Like, are you telling me that between doing the inner work and loving myself, I have to wash these capitalist body coverings every day, again and again and again, for the rest of my mortal existence? Being the bigger person, the toughest. I don't know how any of us get to do it. I used to lose this battle for a wide range of reasons. From reacting to sensory overload or misophonia, to leaving a note on a noisy neighbor's door. I've done this on 2 separate occasions. I am not proud of it. Listen, I know that the first choice of action should be to have a calm talk. Been there, done that. I tried talking to a downstairs neighbor that would literally blast Tap In by Saweetie at 6 a.m.
Low waist, fat ass bitch, tap in. Tap in.
The sun hasn't risen yet.
And neither have I.
She was mean, she didn't want to talk, nor stop. In fact, it got worse. And I'm petty, so you know what I did? I hid her doormat. I don't know, it's my version of stealing somebody's lawn flamingos. I don't know, it felt good. Yo, this bitch came up screaming. She started spraying cooking oil all over our door, then proceeds to chuck a whole bag of flour all over it, then continues spraying the hallway right outside our apartment with oil. And then she grabs this bag of like a reddish brown, teeny tiny whole grain and just starts spilling all over the place. So I don't know, it's not that I don't trust people's reactions, I just don't trust mine. You guys familiar with that scene from the show Friends where the downstairs neighbor is super annoyed because the steps from right above them, Monica's apartment, is super loud? So he takes his broom and starts knocking on the ceiling. And then the gang at some point just wasn't having it. So they start stomping on the floor while he's trying to knock the ceiling. See? This is what neighbors do. Then finally he stops and the gang celebrates, only to find out that he died. So minus the death part, I am everyone in this scenario. I literally am the one who stomps and the one who knocks.
I am the danger.
But the thing about growing up and taking time in between mentee bees to reflect, you gradually learn to recognize your triggers. Don't pretend that you don't have any. Everyone has triggers. I'm not ashamed to admit that it was only January of this year, at age 33, that I learned about misophonia, which makes sense because I frequently experience sensory overload. And I swear when I educated myself on this, I finally developed the ability to tune these triggers out and pretty much not react. What reaction? Who's angry? Now I'm not 100% free from absolutely losing my mind. And unfortunately, being bipolar means I never will be completely free, but I'm so much softer this year than last year and the year before that and the year before that. Life is long. And with or without moving to a new city or country, it's okay to create a brand new life for yourself. Sometimes we're written into books that don't tell a good story or makes our character feel smaller than we really are. I need you to know that you don't have to finish bad books. Just pick up a new one. And no, time spent reading a book, living any kind of life, is never time wasted. In November 2019, I was diagnosed with bipolar 2. Oh yeah, I mentioned that, didn't I? If you're meeting me for the first time or you haven't followed me on Instagram since my videos 10 years ago, I was diagnosed with bipolar 2 disorder right before the pandemic started. I was literally stranded in the Philippines for 10 months. I don't know if it was a blessing or a curse that I was suddenly forced to quarantine right after the diagnosis, but I'm gonna go with blessing. Amidst the global chaos of COVID-19, I was blessed with a lot of time to mentally and emotionally process my diagnosis. It was upsetting just as much as it was a relief. I was blessed with a lot of time to physically adjust to my new medications without real worry of having to adult. I was able to escape daily stress because I was able to fully detach from the endless, merciless rat race that is the American dream. By the time travel reopened and I found myself fully moved to New York City, I was kind of okay. Still very much learning how to manage the condition and the episodes, but I got lucky in every way. And lastly, I got pressured to change my content and myself. I think I mentioned this earlier and now I'll explain. Like most YouTubers, I started making videos out of boredom. I literally only had my 2007 MacBook Pro and the built-in camera. Made different kinds of videos and posted those on Facebook. I know, that's psychotic to think of. But YouTube was only 2 years old back then. My idols were Jenna Marbles, Ray William Johnson, it's Kingsley. They were so comfortable and wacky and unfiltered on camera. They said out loud what most people only really think about. They seemed unafraid of truly being themselves. And I kind of wanted that freedom. I've always leaned into my extrovert tendencies because it got me the attention that my inner child had always needed. So I started uploading my videos on YouTube. I was 100% being myself. I wasn't overthinking, and I stumbled upon this network of like-minded people that know a good joke from a bad one. Didn't really care about going viral. I was perfectly happy having a creative outlet, and it's cathartic too. As somebody who spent a lot of time alone and learning to self-soothe as a child, felt like I created a sort of safe space on YouTube. Eventually, after Why Nursing, Anna? Popped off, one thing led to another. I won a reality contest, hosted my own TV and chat-based online shows. I was actually giving talks at nursing schools and attending their pageants as a panelist, and I got to visit other cities outside of Manila along with a bunch of really talented online personalities. We would essentially go to malls and I would host the mall tour. They made me do one song number in every mall, but for the most part they were utilizing my gift of gab. I was meeting amazing people. I was constantly being invited to the club, parties, events. I was getting free services and products. It was surreal, and it all happened so fast. You think the sun is blinding? Try the limelight. And if you don't catch it early enough, you lose sight of your personal brand. At one point, somebody actually gave me professional advice. I was told to lose more weight because my face is naturally round, film my videos in more Tagalog for the masses, and make sure that they get my humor. Which I want to talk about real quick because I think this is a really mean way to approach creating mainstream entertainment. Just because a certain low socioeconomic level outnumbers the freaking higher echelon, cream of the crop, districts 4 and up,
That is mahogany.
does not mean that things for the masses need to be watered down for them to appreciate and understand it. They also told me to cuss less, which is a valid point because I can be a bit of a sailor sometimes. Imagine this one, oh my god. We were then given the chance to be presented to the one and only Johnny Mr. M. Manahan, aka the daddy of Star Magic. Putang ina. Tubig! So we all got dressed up to the nines and lined up in groups of 10. Yes, katabi ko si Kylie Versosa. Maliit pa boobs niya nun. We wore numbers and we were made to line up in this elevated fishbowl of a room like we were mannequins. Mr. M and a few other people who looked important stood outside, looked up at us, mumbling over clipboards, pointing pens before scribbling something. And yeah, I wasn't picked. But I learned a lot from that experience. It was really eye-opening. What I took away from this experience is that it is entirely unacceptable to expect dreamers and hopefuls to be multi-talented in every way possible, just so they can take on this fake persona and entertain the masses and therefore be able to make more money off of the people who don't really have that money. That's a little predatory if you ask me. The chosen ones do get opportunities to train in singing, dancing, and get better at acting. And yes, I agree, the grass is always greener where you water it. But what the hell was that period where everyone was just having a fever dream when Ann Curtis was essentially just Taylor Swifting in the Araneta Coliseum?
I don't wanna miss
Capitalizing on that voice and essentially creating a huge ASAP show in a coliseum. I'm sorry, I just don't agree with that. My time and creativity just went to making videos in fulfillment of sponsorship contracts, and it was just draining. Look, I know sponsorships are the way influencers, YouTubers, pretty much anyone online, that's how they make money. But I believe everything great and real takes time. My hobby was monetized way too early. I just lost the safe space that I created. YouTube is my Roman Empire, y'all. But it's important that I explained what happened during that time period because I don't want anyone to think that I just woke up one day and decided that I'm done with YouTube. It was the perfect storm of events that just made authenticity a struggle. But I'm glad I've weathered it. I'm glad that I now have the ability to set myself up again and be comfortable being me in front of the camera. I'm back because I finally feel real again, and I want to keep making connections and get back in touch with the ones that I've made before. And I'm here to talk about real shit. We're back, motherfuckers. You and I, we're safe here. To my OGs, thank you for sticking around as long as you have. Your usernames are permanently tattooed on my heart. And to everyone else, thank you so much for coming by, visiting my channel, and sticking around. I'll see you all in the next one where I watch and react to my decade-old videos. It'll be a surprise drop, so please, like I said, turn on notifications, ring that bell so that we can all catch each other online at the same time and watch that video. Y'all are f***ing amazing. That is all. Goodbye.